So, people keep saying, like, well, Thanos destroyed the Infinity Stones, didn't he? And sure, he rendered them unusable. In Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, we see that the world, and yes, it's Marvel vs. Capcom, it's a fighting game, it's not part of the MCU, whatever. Also, Mega Man and Fuckstick McGee are in the game. Who is Fuckstick McGee, you may ask? I don't know, I just thought that sounded cool. Anyways, Thanos punches the Reality Stone when it's in Ultron Sigma's head. And he punches it so hard and so many times that it actually cracks. And now, as a result, the realities cannot be unfused. They're stuck like that. And, well, let's just say that, alright, so reality isn't broken even though the same rules apply, but it's cracked. So, and you gotta think that Marvel would have a little bit more care with their explanations. I don't think they're just gonna be like, I used the stones to destroy the stones 1 minute, and be like, we need the stones to create the flow of time the next. So, let's assume that there is an explanation. I already posted this on the game theory video that just came out, or film theory video that just came out. But I believe that Thanos just, when he snapped his fingers this next time, the stones exploded. That we know that their energy went way further into the universe than the initial snap. So what if the stones just exploded and their particles were just spread throughout the universe? It irradiated all of the planets, or like all of, the galaxy nearby, and the particles are expanding at the same rate that space and the universe is as well. Until they come closer together and build up enough energy to reform. What if the stones can't be destroyed? They can be removed from one universe to another, but they can't be destroyed. They are always part of the universe. That would be a pretty cool reveal. Not only would that mean that in the future they could fall back on the Infinity Stones if they need to, but also as of now, no one can use them in any way. Reality still functions, but what are you going to do? Collect microscopic particles? I guess if you're Ant-Man in a spacesuit and you have 4,000 years of your life to go, if you're just fucking immortal, then sure. But now they have to reform on their own. And you know what? This would also be a really cool way to introduce us to some different types of aliens. Or maybe Thanos, or maybe not Thanos. Maybe when Galactus shows up, he has the Infinity Stones. And you're like, whoa, how did he do that? And he's like, you fools. They reform on their own. Or something like that. I'm really tired, guys, and this is just after making that CBR Spider-Man video. So, I have to rush this video a little bit, but it's been on my mind for a while, and I just never said anything. So, peace.
Can't let Pete down. I need to get this under control. Whoa, great arm. You ever pitch? Seriously, you're AAA easy. Career just waiting for you. Man, he's too good. Got a shot. Out on the street, Spider-Man. Honestly, kind of terrifying. Christmas in New York.
So I think Star Wars needs a multiverse. I know this is kind of weird, but think about it. Eventually we're going to run out of stories to tell with our favorite characters. And they're going to have to make more characters, and maybe they won't be as good. But if you want Luke Skywalker, well, there are still some opportunities to tell some stories with that character. If you want more Anakin Skywalker, I think we're pretty much done. Yoda, there's a little bit of room there, but we're mostly done. Obi-Wan, we're getting a Disney Plus show, and there's still like a lot of room because we haven't seen that character in anything in between that specific time period. And then even if you don't think, you know, maybe not multiverse, but we need like non-canon materials and stuff, because we're just running out of cool opportunities. Like, you know, Darth Maul is alive during Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff, and we never saw him and Darth Vader fight. Rebels and Clone Wars are not black and white. I think, to a degree, Star Wars should be a little black and white. I kind of like how Luke is the good guy and Palpatine's the bad guy, and then you have Darth Vader, who actually has like a bit of gray. I don't think Star Wars should be strictly black and white. I really like what they did with The Last Jedi. I hated Last Jedi at first, but now I kind of like it. I really like what they did with the Clone Wars cartoon, so it shouldn't be always black and white, but a degree. But having, you know, a black and white situation every once in a while is fine by me. But Rebels wasn't black and white. Maul and Vader were bad guys, but they weren't on the same team. That's not necessarily a gray area, but let's say, you know, traditional black and white moral codes. Maul and Vader should probably be teaming up, but I guarantee you, if they ever even saw each other, they would have murdered one another. Vader probably would have won too, because continuity, but, you know, still. So we need more non-canon materials, and we need, a multiverse or something like that, you know? So that way we can... Then the multiverses never have to cross over. I probably think that they shouldn't. But I worry that eventually we'll run out of stories to tell, and we'll need to start over. And instead of rebooting, you just pull the Marvel and get another universe. Or do Star Trek. Anyone remember how they did that timeline thing? So, yeah. For instance, I really wanted to see Maul and Vader fight. And there's still a little bit of room for that to happen, but I doubt it. Doubt it's happening.
He's a weak-minded
Um,
Very fast.
I think, I think at this rate, there might not be a good Force Unleashed story to tell in canon if Force Unleashed is the way it is. So,
Hey, Mom. Coconut milk.
but just pull the timeline, or just pull a time travel, and then, fix everything or something like that. They did introduce time travel to the universe, so I guess maybe they introduced that because they're like, we're running out of stories to tell. Yoda's 600 years old, so we can tell some interesting Yoda stories, but they wouldn't feature any of the other characters. There's not really much to do with Bail Organa or Leia. There's not much to do with Han. I mean, I'm still excited for Solo 2, and there's a little bit they can do in Solo 2, Solo 3, sure. I don't think that there's going to be much, though. Also, are we getting a Solo 2 and a Solo 3? I really like that movie. There seems to be absolutely no story to tell with the Rogue One characters, yet we're getting a series on Disney Plus of Cassian Andor. So, that really confuses me. Hey, maybe Disney will prove me wrong and they got some great stories in the woodworks.
Okay. Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, perhaps they can do whatever the fuck they want. I'm looking at it like they have to have a strict timeline. But perhaps you can just have infinite, like, the way I'm looking at it is there is, year after year in universe would be like the same length. But perhaps out of universe they would be separate. So you can make a movie that takes place before episode 2 or something like that and not contradict anything from episode 2. Or maybe you can have a movie that's after episode 2 but wouldn't contradict anything in the Clone Wars. And maybe you can have some Clone Wars episodes that take place in between other episodes. Like how Batman the Animated Series does it. Batman the Animated Series isn't running out of stories to tell. But Star Wars just always feels different than that. It feels like I don't think there are just limitless possibilities with Star Wars anymore. I think they might be getting a little limited, and I hope I'm wrong. But non-canon materials and multiverse could help fix that. Well, it wouldn't help fix that. It would fix that. That's just obvious. And by non-canon materials, I'm referring to like video games and stuff. Like if they do a, I really want a fighting game that's just Star Wars. It'd also be cool if Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker appeared in Injustice or something like that. That's way too much to hope for. I mean, at that point, it'd probably be easier to get a Marvel character in there. But you just have like, so Luke Skywalker and one of his premier skins is Obi-Wan, and then Darth Vader and his premier skin is Anakin. That would be awesome, right? And they each have different animations, of course, and dialogue. That would be awesome. Injustice 3, now featuring Star Wars. I mean, you get a bigger reaction than you do with Turtles. By the way, bring the Turtles back if you can. Turtles, Injustice forever, let me tell you. But, when you got that Turtle reaction, I was watching Maximilian's reaction, and he was, he saw the, fucking sigh, and he was like, "Whoa, we're getting Melina?" And then it turns out to be Raph, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And then it was all the other turtles, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And, so, I mean, just do that with Star Wars. You hear, vroom, 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 and then you see fucking Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. Oh, fuck it, no, actually, You hear the lightsaber, you see red light, and then you hear the Imperial March. That would fucking get reactions. Also, Batman versus Vader. That'd be an interesting. I kind of want to see the dialogue. Who's behind the mask? And then it's just like, fucking I don't know what he would say, but it's something like, talking about how Anakin Skywalker is no more. That'd be fucking cool. I'm dead serious, guys. If you think I'm joking and you think this is stupid, well, I am, or I am stupid, and I'm not joking. This would be awesome. I'm gonna go to the subreddit and ask, just be like, hey, what are the odds that these characters make it in? Because people want the Nintendo Switch version of the next game to have Donkey Kong. I think that's kind of weird, but alright. If the Nintendo Switch version can have Donkey Kong, though, get the fucking... At least try to get Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in the game. As well as Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker. That would be awesome. Also, the dialogue between Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader would be interesting. Ooh. The dialogue with Anakin and Luke, too. Dude. Anyways, enough about Injustice and Star Wars crossover. That's not happening, I'm sure. Whatever. So, basically... well, I guess I do want to say one thing. Luke and Obi-Wan would hopefully have different lightsaber pose, or like different idol poses. Like Luke would hold his lightsaber with both hands out in front of him, and Obi-Wan would do the weird thing with his fingers and the lightsaber above his head. So, because it'd be kind of lame if that was exactly the same. It's like, that's not Obi-Wan. But, anyways. Ooh, Superman versus Darth Vader. Anyways, multiverse, kind of like what DC does. Not so much what Marvel does. Marvel's multiverse is kind of fucked in my opinion. But DC's multiverse is simple and really easy to get behind. Dark Knight's Metal is the only time I had trouble keeping up with what fucking Earth everything was on. I don't know what was up with that. I think there was just too much at once and I couldn't fucking process. Error. Brain rebooting. Boom, boom. That was a Law and Order sound. That was supposed to be like my computer going off. So, just do that. And then you can have Starkiller on this other Earth. That would be kind of cool. I am never gonna let this go. I should just upload a video called Talking About Starkiller until Disney makes him canon again. Yeah. Guys, let me know if you guys agree with me, if you guys agree about the Injustice thing as well, but mostly about the storytelling of Star Wars right now. What do you guys think it's at? I think Yoda, Luke, Anakin, Obi-Wan, etc. can all come back as ghosts. But that's not really them. I mean, it is. It is them. But it's not them in the flesh,
Head of R&D at Roxxon Energy. Pleasure to meet you.
Although, I would like to know what Obi-Wan meant by become far more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
No. Actually did us a favor.
Because he became a ghost and didn't do anything, but then Yoda is a ghost and he's able to strike, just like destroy, smite shit. He's able to, Ghost Yoda is able to smite shit. I mean, that's terrifying. And can you kill a Force Ghost? Because Starkiller did it. But I guess we don't talk about that.
Troopers are overkill until something like this happens.
Yeah.
Duty calls. Hey, really great to meet you both. Future's looking bright.
I think I figured out what my extra video for Force Unleashed is going to be. Alright, so, yeah, basically, let me know if you guys agree with my Star Wars storytelling theory and how, and what you think if those 4 particular characters came into Injustice 3. and I'll give you two more possibilities for premiere skins: Darth Malgus for Vader, and I didn't really think this through. I just let Malgus look kind of like Vader. Or Battle Damage Vader. Ooh, Battle Damage Vader would be good too. But that could probably just be gear rather than a skin. Dude, why did we never get any Vader skins in Battlefront 2? You could have had Battle Damaged, which would be like, so you know Grievous had Battle Damaged and Shattered Armor? Well, Grievous could have had Battle Damage could have been, for Darth Vader, it could have been, the Force Unleashed, what happened to Vader at the end of the game. How he just got fucking mollywopped. And then Shattered Armor could have been like what happened to Vader when he fought Ahsoka. That would have been cool. The only thing I can think is maybe there wasn't like a head modeled underneath Vader's helmet. So like when you... It would look weird. So hopefully Battlefront 3 is made with a better Vader model. There was nothing wrong with this model. It just didn't promote the usage of skins. That was the only problem. So anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Also, why did Grievous not have a cape in that game? Let me know what you guys think about everything I've said here. I really gotta get going because I'm just gonna find more things to talk about. And I want to end the video here. So, thank you guys for watching. Michael Davis being a dick spit and signing out.
So, Marvel keeps announcing Disney Plus series or new Disney Plus series like crazy. So I'm thinking that Star Wars should announce more of them. Right now, when it comes to Star Wars, we have Kenobi and the Cassian Andor series. It's fucking cold out here. Sorry, so the Cassian Andor series and Kenobi. One of those I'm looking forward to, and one of them I'm like, alright, that could be kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan, and Cassian Andor is like, yeah, that could be kind of cool. But, I just want to know, I want to make a list on characters that deserve their own Disney Plus series, and then just a list on, you know, not necessarily a character, but like a time period or a place that deserves a Disney Plus series. But, you know, with Marvel, we got WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, Nick Fury, Agents of S.W.O.R.D. Nick Fury and Agents of S.W.O.R.D. are separate, by the way. That's 6 already, and I can't remember what the other ones were. She-Hulk is one of them. So, you know, that's 7. But with Disney Plus, we only have 2. So that's kind of fucked, isn't it? Or with Star Wars, we only have 2. With Disney Plus, but with Star Wars, we only got 2, and it's kind of fucked, I think. But basically, I think what you could do is, you know, just approve more series. So characters that deserve their own Disney Plus series. I think Anakin Skywalker. during like the Clone Wars, you know, something that maybe during something that we didn't get an episode of, that kind of thing. I guess it'd be largely inconsequential, but it'd be cool to give Hayden Christensen a better or a shot now that maybe he's a better actor or something like that, you know. And just seeing more Anakin, making him seem more heroic before his eventual fall, I think that'd be cool. Also, we could finally learn how he got the scar on his face. In episode 3, he just has a scar for no reason. I always thought it came from when he was fighting Dooku in episode 2. But as it turns out, no. That came from Asajj Ventress in the Clone Wars 2003 series. So, you know, we can figure out what happened. That could be an excuse to have another Ahsoka, or to have a Ahsoka or Asajj Ventress appearance in live action. We're getting Ahsoka on Mandalorian, but, you know. So, then a Darth Maul series. There's so much room for this character. Like, he got trapped in a hole or something in Rebels. And, like, how did he get there? He appears at the end of Solo, but why exactly? He just sort of shows up for no reason. And I kind of want to know where they were going to go with that. Maybe him and Han Solo could cross paths later. That'd be kind of cool. So, you know, that was those two down. Okay, so Anakin Skywalker and Darth Maul deserve Disney Plus shows. Solo definitely needs a Disney Plus show. People aren't going to... It doesn't seem like people want to go to a theater to go see Solo. So they're not going to buy tickets to go see that. So what they do is they make a Disney Plus show. And so people will maybe sign up for that membership to watch that. I think. So just do a sequel to Solo, which is like 4 hours instead of 2, you know? It's a bunch of 42-minute episodes that amount to 4 hours. That kind of deal. And then a Leia show, I think, would be cool. But what I'd rather at the moment is a Luke Skywalker-based show that takes place just after the story of Battlefront 2. It'd be really cool if the first episode was literally just the level on Pilio in Battlefront 2. That's kind of what I'm going for here. Just seeing that in live action, and then also seeing, Luke's Jedi Order would be really cool. And then here's one that I mentioned a while ago, but I don't know if I've ever actually put the video out. Like a Darth Vader show that humanizes him a little bit. Until like at the very end, where maybe sort of Darth Vader is like the big bad of his own show, and we see like a fight between Anakin and Vader. And in the final episode, we see like it's inside Darth Vader's head, his fractured mind. And so like in his head, he goes to the Jedi Temple and he kills Anakin. But like Anakin pops back up right behind him, saying that he's always going to be a part of him. That would be cool, you know? We finally get a lightsaber duel between Anakin and Vader, and, you know, it makes sense. And on top of this duel would flesh out the character a bit more. That's how you have a lightsaber duel be actually integral to the story. Because in my opinion, certain lightsaber duels are not integral to the story. They do a little bit of characterization for Luke in Empire when it came to that lightsaber duel with Vader, but in The Phantom Menace, the lightsaber duel could have literally just been Darth Maul stabbing Qui-Gon and then Obi-Wan cutting him in half. They didn't have to do all that choreography or anything like that. However, I think the choreography in this lightsaber duel would actually be beneficial to the character. And yeah, that also... This Darth Vader show would also have Hayden Christensen and James Earl Jones. I always forget that guy's name for some reason. So, you know. And the next one would be Poe Dameron, I think would be a cool one. And it'd be cool if a little bit of it focused on Finn. But Finn when he was in the Empire. And you know, not like much, and Poe Dameron and Finn's story would never, or wouldn't really cross over. I mean, I think at most, maybe Poe Dameron is doing a bombing run. And so as he's coming down in his X-Wing, he fires at the ground, killing a bunch of stormtroopers. But it just blasts Finn out of the way, and his helmet falls off, and you're like, oh, hey, look, it's Finn. I think that should be the most that their story crosses over in that instance. But then you have a show focusing on Kylo Ren would definitely be cool during Luke's Jedi Order. Or during Luke's new Jedi Order-ish. And then a Knights of the Old Republic series. That one would be fucking cool. I don't even need to say much on that topic. But here's one thing that I do need to say. The final series that I am pitching here is almost entirely the reason that I have drugged this video out so long. I didn't think about it until I mentioned the Darth Maul series. Or no, until I mentioned the Darth Vader series. But the ending of the Vader series should have Vader go to Kashyyyk. And I mean, like, by ending, I mean, like, post-credit scene kind of thing. It can be the ending, but I still think that the true ending should be the, Vader versus Anakin duel. The other ending would just be, you know, fan service. Or not fan service, post-credit scene, type material. So, Vader goes to Kashyyyk. And, then he goes and, kills a Jedi Master named Kento Merrick. And they literally just have the dialogue from, they don't show Kento die, or anything like that. They don't even show Kento, but maybe Vader approaches the, hut on Kashyyyk, and, so after he kills a bunch of Wookiees, you just hear him say, or you just hear, like, Kento's voice saying, "Dark Lord, whatever you want, you won't find it here," and then credits. That would be kind of cool. And then they just pick up in Starkiller, the Disney Plus series. I'm telling you, man, make a Starkiller show. And then make a Force Unleashed reboot. People want Force Unleashed to be canonized. I say fuck that noise. Just reboot the series, make it better. That's what reboots are supposed to do. Hopefully this reboot could do that. But hey, a Disney Plus series? That'd be fucking sick. So like the first, it'd be like WandaVision, how like what we know about WandaVision so far seems to be that the first 2 episodes are going to be like sort of sitcom-like. Sitcoms through different time periods is what they're saying, it seems like. Before they get into the wacky Marvel shit. So this series, the first episode, Starkiller would be a teenager. And at the second episode, Starkiller would sort of age up to where you expect. And then in the third episode, he goes to Felucia to kill Shakti. And then they do their own thing with the story. Or wait, they can't do that because the canon Shakti actually dies in Revenge of the Sith according to Clone Wars. So, never mind on that one. But you can still go to Raxus Prime and kill Kazdan Paratus. Apparently, Kazdan Paratus' species can be spotted in the Phantom Menace. I didn't know that. Obviously, Phantom Menace came first, but I wasn't expecting that. I was rewatching it, and I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, Starkiller showing up in a Disney Plus series of his own would be really cool. So the video game ones would be based. The ones based on video games would be Starkiller and Knights of the Old Republic. Starkiller and Knights of the Old Republic, based on Force Unleashed and Knights of the Old Republic. But the other ones would be still, continuations of movies or, continuing the depths of the characters. Now, actually, there were some interesting ones I had ideas on earlier. So, one series would be on the crime underworld in Coruscant, kind of like the canceled Project 1313. But yeah, I think that would be nice. And then that one could cross over with Mandalorian. Because we really don't know anything about Coruscant after the prequels. So, this would be a good way to learn about what's going on over there during the sequel trilogy. And then, a series about like a resistance base on Jakku, post Rise of Skywalker, and then a series about the crime world of Tatooine during the original trilogy. That would be cool. So here we go. So that with all of those shows, I have already covered all bases that Disney needs to cover. Forgotten video games that haven't been forgotten by the fans, but rather forgotten by Disney. Different planets and time periods to flesh things out at. Different characters, and I've basically covered, in terms of time periods, the Age of the Old Republic, the Clone Wars, the original trilogy, and the sequel trilogy. And then the Mandalorian era, Mandalorian era. So, yeah, I think I've covered all bases. So those have been my picks for Disney Plus shows, I think. What do you guys think? Did I miss one that is like incredibly obvious? Is there something I should have listed that I didn't? I think I'm going to do a volume 2, and if you guys want to give me suggestions, I'll certainly take them. Later. So, people think that's, or, well, Screen Rant specifically. I really like busting with Screen Rant and CBR and whatever. But, they seem to think that Spider-Man's going to lead the Avengers. Maybe at one point. Like Avengers 6, maybe? But I feel like the leader of the team is going to be Thor. Chris Hemsworth's Thor, the Donald Blake character, but he's not Donald Blake in the MCU. I don't see Spider-Man leading the team yet. I think eventually. But dude can't even lead himself. He's had 3 mentor figures. Well, he's going to have 3 mentor figures. Hollywood Reporter said that Doctor Strange would take on the mentor role in the next one. Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, and Variety are like the good ones to trust. They're like the only real 3 that I trust anyways. I take everything else with a grain of salt. But that means that the dude, how is he going to lead the team if he can't lead himself? That's why I don't know if I actually made a video on this, but supposedly the next Spider-Man movie is going to be a live-action Spider-Verse. And as cool as that would be, it would be ruined if Miles Morales was part of this universe. Like the MCU universe. If Miles Morales was, say, part of, If Miles were part of the Sam Raimi / Tobey Maguire universe, that'd be fine. If he's part of the Mark Webb / Andrew Garfield universe, that would really suck. But if he's part of the MCU universe, that could work. I just don't think it would be amazing. And so, like, so, like, he had Iron Man in, Spider-Man Homecoming, and he had Mysterio, who turned out to be the bad guy, in Far From Home. How...
I should try to do this quietly.
and he's gonna have Doctor Strange in Spider-Man 3. How are you gonna lead an entire team, especially when one of the other members is currently your mentor? That ain't how this works. So, no. In Avengers 5, that's not happening. In Avengers 6, or even in Spider-Man 4, possibly, maybe. But no.
Found at the recycling center.
Fuck off. So...
Love using bad guys' own weapons against them.
it fucks off or gets the hose again. So, yeah. Iron Man, Mysterio, Doctor Strange. The dude doesn't really know what he's doing and is constantly making mistakes. That's the whole point of his character in this universe. Tobey Maguire just sort of instantly knew what to do. And so, come Spider-Man 3, there's not really any room for him to grow. And Amazing Spider-Man,
Karmic justice looks like.
Andrew Garfield just was not that compelling a character and made mistakes seemingly intentionally. Not the brightest one, that one. Also putting quips before saving lives. So, I'm hoping that universe gets a bit of a retcon, if that's really what we're doing. Ooh. And, yeah, so... I haven't actually watched their video. You know what? I'm dying. Let's go do that real quick. I kind of want to know. Because then I can actually I can actually refute their arguments. I can actually, you know... It makes sense with his current character arc. That's their first point. Also, this is CBR, not Screen Rant. So, he knows how to be a hero. And you know what? They're right. They said that he's being set up for it. That he knows how to be a hero and that he's making these young people mistakes, is what they said. And, yeah. But not immediately, and you narrowed down your list, and what you came to was Spider-Man. Fucking Bucky Barnes makes more sense to me. Just get away from the painting. Get away from the painting. So I don't think... Yeah, I don't think that checks. Spider-Man... I would have gone to the immediate candidates. Scarlet Witch. Fucking Quicksilver? I don't think Quicksilver, but... He'd be better than Spider-Man, I think. Vision? No, not... He's not really a suitable leader. I'm not going to say he goes rogue a lot, but he hasn't really displayed any leadership skills. In fact, if they had gotten the Infinity Stone off of his head, they'd have probably been fine, but instead he ran away because he got... You know, he saw the girl. He saw Scarlet Witch. I forgot what her name was for a second. So, that's not cool. Star-Lord, I think, would be a better leader than Spider-Man. But he's kind of hung up with the Guardians rather than the Avengers, so. But fucking, my top 3 candidates before Spider-Man: Doctor Strange, Thor, Winter Soldier. More heroes could be pushed towards the dark side. Look, man. Winter Soldier, he got his bugs fixed, so he's fine. Otherwise, again, Doctor Strange. Well, Doctor Strange, yeah, he has that whole sacrificing everyone for the greater good thing, which, not a particularly great trait. I guess it worked out. But Winter Soldier, he's fine. And I don't even know what win out of necessity means. But, Thor, he's not going to be pushed to the dark side. He'll probably make some foolish mistakes because he likes he likes a lot of competition, but this video is 22 minutes long. I don't really have the time or patience to watch all of it. I could probably try to make it work, I'll see. But actually, so far, they're not that bad. I'm just used to having to bash the shit out of these guys because everything they say is wrong. But this one seems to be more of a discussion rather than their normal videos. So instead of having their shitty writers, they have just people talking, so that's great. Seems actually quite rational. So, maybe there won't be too much to debunk here. The reason that I stand corrected. I have to disagree with the reason that they narrowed out Captain Marvel. I don't think she should be the leader, but their reasoning was she doesn't live on Earth. Boy, don't even with me right now. She'll be based on Earth sooner or later because I guarantee you when they get the X-Men, they're going to want to do that thing with Rogue. So, for instance, like, that's not her problem. Her problem is that she's aloof as fuck, she's standoffish, and doesn't work well with others, really. She just kind of does her own thing, and then everyone has to work around her. Which I guess is aloof as fuck. That's what that means. So... I know Doctor Strange hasn't been portrayed quite the way he is in the comics. But, alright, you guys know that he's part of the Illuminati in the comics. Yet you're saying that he's not going to sit at a table and tell everyone what to do. My guy. Yeah, I knew there was a reason I wasn't listing Black Panther. That really sucks. Alright, well. Multiverse? How does that even... I still don't... I don't understand the multiverse situation. But now they're saying that Peter, Spider-Man, making him the leader would make things easier on both Disney and Sony copyrights and whatever reasons. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because if Marvel and Disney put that character in the forefront of their movies and he becomes super important, Sony can haggle and alter the deal. And, well, they've positioned Spider-Man as a pretty important character, so now Sony can tug on this string. And if Sony doesn't like their agreement, just like before, then he'll just pull them out again. So that doesn't make any sense. Alright, I get their multiverse point now. That kind of doesn't matter, though, because if Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are in the same room while all of this is happening, Doctor Strange is still going to be a dick. There's nothing you could do to stop that. Spider-Man being the leader of the team would... Dude, if I were Doctor Strange, I'd shit on his grave. This point of trusting the right people and trusting the wrong people is something that actually does make sense for Spider-Man to be a leader, but it's not a trait we can be 100% sure he has as of yet. This is something that happens all the time. You have characters like the Lizard, Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin, Mysterio. This happens all the time. He trusts the wrong people or the wrong things. I guess another one would be Venom. That's 5 characters I've just listed off. So that's kind of a moot point to me. Alright, yeah, so their final point was, this video was sort of all over the place. I think the title of the video and the premise of the conversation was just sort of an excuse for them to have a conversation, because it didn't really apply all in the way that they seem to have made it seem like it would. Especially their point about the multiverse and the ending point, which I didn't talk about until this point, because this is the ending point of mine, is his identity being revealed. Yeah, that doesn't really mean anything to me. That doesn't say, oh hey, his identity's been revealed, so he's gonna be a better hero for it. Something like that. That'll make him a good leader. No. So, yeah. I think maybe that movie will have some trials for Spider-Man, but I don't think that'll make him a better leader automatically. I think ultimately it's still going to be the same thing. I think ultimately he'll still be the same character coming out of it, not much will be changed. I think that trial will genuinely be solved within the first 30 minutes of the movie. I don't have high hopes for that trial in particular, but I think it'll set up some good character moments and some, and it'll be, perhaps it could be the premise of this whole thing. Like, if the third movie is Spider-Verse, then maybe Miles Morales, who is supposedly coming in the movie, that's not concrete, or it is concrete, but it's not reported by anyone concrete, it's just we have a lot of evidence, and it would be stupid if it wasn't. We basically saw the casting call because they did it over Zoom, and it got Zoom bombed. So that was kind of stupid. But basically, if Miles Morales is in this movie, he could be just a random citizen who just a random citizen in New York who wants to stick up for Spider-Man. Maybe he takes the suit or something and starts acting like Spider-Man. So when Peter can't find his suit or something, well, someone's just witnessed that Peter Parker isn't Spider-Man. Now it's Miles. Or another thing is when all the other Spider-Men start jumping out of the portal. Well, now there's another Spider-Man and there's another Spider-Man while Peter Parker's over at like a court hearing or something. Personally, I like the idea of my Daredevil and Punisher confirmed video. That one, yeah. So, yeah, but basically, I think Daredevil will show up in this movie. Charlie Cox or otherwise is unknown, but I'm fairly certain. Because Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, I believe, are all owned by Marvel Studios once again. I could be wrong, though. I know, like, Luke Cage and Iron Fist are, I think. But I don't know about Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, etc. So, who knows, really. So, yeah, well, I'm gonna have to leave this video now. Like I said, I didn't really have the time for this. I have work tomorrow, so. Yeah, later, guys.
Made it. Blueprints. An APC. This is what they're building for Lee. But why does he need an armored vehicle? There must be something else in this. Here we go. GPS trackers. What is Tombstone using these for?
All right, boys. Time to move. Get the gear from my office.
Time to go.
Okay, I want to say don't ever do that again, but since I know you're going to anyway, here. Take a few of those next time.
Nice. Thanks.
You know Tombstone is crazy and pretty much invincible, right?
Everybody has their weakness. Mine is whatever you're cooking right now. Smells amazing.
The chicken curry. Just needs some time to simmer.
No dumplings, I hope.
You're never gonna let me live that one down, are you?
Nope.
The Great Dumpling Catastrophe.
I still can't believe they evacuated the entire building.
I know, and in January, too. Your neighbors hated me.
Yeah, they were pretty happy when we broke up.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about what you found in Lee's office.
Well, Lee clearly has issues with Norman Osborn.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know yet. But his next move looks like it involves Devil's Breath. Whatever that is.
Yeah. I'll dig into it. So I was thinking, what if we teamed up?
What, you want to be my sidekick? Like a Spider Girl? Spider Woman?
No.
Woman.
No, not a sidekick. A partner.
Oh. Not again.
Hey, it's your crime system thingy. Looks like a residential break-in.
Charles Standish.
That sounds familiar. Oh, Oscorp CFO. Wait, You don't think this has anything to do with Lee, do you?
Sorry to cook and run.
Did you just leave your clothes on the kitchen floor?
Hey, trying to take a picture here!
I'll show you how we play in the human world.
Who will come out on top? Ready! Fight! First attack!
Assemble! Let's Hey, super! Burst me for web blue. Take it up!
You can't escape! Can you dodge this?
Spider-Man! Get ready! Does whatever Hits keep on coming. How's that for a wall of it?
So fascinating! So Dante!
Level 1! Counter! Danger! Good!
Go, Spider-Man! Power!
Can you dodge this?
Face Stone! Spider Bite!
Level 1! Danger! Good!
Let's go down! Yeah! Hold on! And it's
Combo KO! Good!
again? Well, always ends like this.